Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Today I'm going to be playing in yet another chess tournament before second semester starts, and this is at Chess Zone, where a lot of the tournaments I play are held at. And this tournament is called the January Melee, and it's a rather interesting tournament. The sections are quite unusual, with the sections being 1200 plus and U1200. So definitely a lot more variation in who you can play, and that in turn can mean that there could be the possibility of upsets, and there definitely have been upsets in this tournament, as you will see shortly. But for now, I'm paired against a kid named Lucas Z, or Z. I don't really know what the proper way is to say it, but I'm just gonna call him Lucas. He's like third, fourth grade. He's already 1500. So obviously, chess he started it early, and I'm gonna go ahead and I also should mention the time control is 30 minutes with a 5-second increment. Though that's slightly different from the Friday Night Quads, which were 30 minutes with a 5-second delay. So here you actually have a bit more time to figure out what you're gonna do in the chess game, but still, it's not. It's right in the middle. It's not super long. It's not super short. I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the action. So I'm playing with the white pieces, and I begin the game with e4. Lucas replies with e5, knight f3, knight c6, and I play my Scotch game. This is my signature opening. E takes d4, and I always gambit the pawn with bishop c4. And I thought Lucas might go into some theory with bishop c5, knight f6, or even playing the bishop b4 check line. But instead, he gives the pawn right back with d6. I go ahead and take it. Knight f6, knight c3, bishop e7. We both castle. And after h3, this is a pretty drawn approach to the Scotch gambit. Usually, players like to hold on to the pawn, in which case white usually does better because it gets really tactical. But it's more drawn to give the pawn back. But anyway, h3. Lucas plays bishop d7. I go ahead and trade knights on c6. I just didn't want the knight to go to e5, possibly, so I just got rid of the knight. He plays bishop takes c6. I go rook e1 to defend the pawn. He goes h6 to prevent any bishop g5 stuff. I go knight d5. He trades. I attack his bishop. The bishop moves. And we're already on move 13, and this is pretty drawn. And I'm playing someone 300 points lower than me. The goal here is not to draw, although so far it seems so. The position isn't really complicated to make a huge blunder or have the tendency to blunder. So far this is going along the avenue of the draw. So I play the move bishop to d3. Lucas plays bishop g5. And I was thinking to just take the bishop here, but that activates black's queen, and black's threatening to take on h3. And I'd probably, after this play, move like queen f3. And then I'm guaranteed Lucas would bring the rook to e8, and this game would just get even simpler by move. I play a little bit of a tricky move. I play queen h5, and I attack the bishop from a different angle. And I was wondering what he would do about it. If he would just move the bishop back somewhere, like if he declines the trade like this, I was preparing to sack on h6 and then crash through on the king side in something like queen h6, and white is just crashing through. So I was curious if he would blunder that. He didn't, though. He just took on c1, and I kind of like that too, because my bishop didn't have to develop, and he spent 2 moves moving his bishop, whereas my bishop didn't do anything, so he got rid of his bishop, basically wasting a tempo. But after rook a c1, rook a takes c1, he plays queen f6, and he gets his queen out. He's attacking the b2 pawn. Here, black's slightly better. So after I go c3, and he goes rook e8, for some reason, I kind of don't like my position, even though it's fine. The top engine moves here are weird. g3, for instance, being the best move. I don't think I would have played that because I didn't really see what that would accomplish. It's basically just passing the ball back into black's court and seeing what they're going to do about it. Alternatively, I can't really move the c-pawn because if I do, black can just trade rooks and then grab the b2 pawn. So I'm kind of stuck. Oh, okay, apparently that's not a good move. What was the best line for black? Oh, black should just take this first. Okay, apparently trading rooks and then taking the pawn is worse. So, I ended up going with bishop to e4, which is a mistake. My idea was to try to get the queen to f3, because my queen's sort of stuck on h5 after he traded bishops, and I wanted to place the queen on f3, where after he would trade with me, I would take with the bishop. So that was my idea. But he goes rook e5, which is the best move, and I'm kind of a little scared here because I noticed black is better. So after I go queen f3, the engine here just recommends to double on the bishop. And best move here is to still go rook e3, but if you, let's say you trade queens here, you're just lost. There's no way to defend the bishop, and the bishop's in an eternal pin, and you can't stop f5, and you're just going to be losing the game. But instead, Lucas played queen e7. He didn't want to trade queens, and I have to go rook e3 here because if he were to play f5, which he did, my rook has sufficient protection, so my bishop isn't really pinned anymore. So bishop d3, he trades rooks. Oh, also, I have a line to show where I go bishop. Where I go bishop e4. I want to point out that I can't move the queen back here because black would trade rooks here and then go queen g5, and black is rarely active in this position. As you can see, black is threatening the d5 pawn, taking on h3 with the bishop, bringing the rook into the game, and white is not doing well at all here. So that was why I couldn't move the queen back right away. So going forward here, rook e3, f5. We entered this rook bishop endgame, and I'm hoping that this isn't going to be a draw. This, minus the mistake on my part, the game hasn't been showing any signs of anyone being better. So after f3, f takes e3, rook e8, king f2, king f7, b4, rook e5. And here I was thinking about playing Hope Chess, playing Oh No, My Pawn. Shout out to Eric Rosen. I was thinking about just moving my bishop somewhere and quote-unquote hanging the pawn and hoping he would fall for bishop c4, winning the exchange. But I'm like, no way a 1500 is going to fall for that. Let's just play normal. Let's just defend the pawn with c4, king e7, bishop e2. I'm trying to reroute to f3. He goes c6, which I was expecting. Bishop f3. And here, we each have about, actually, I have less time. He has about 15 minutes here, and I have 10. So bishop f3. He goes g5 with the idea of going g4. So I played g4 myself to prevent him from going there. And here, even though the engine said it's a good move, I think this move is a mistake to take on g4, because after I retake, black's h-pawn suddenly becomes a weakness, and if you don't prevent rook h1, you have to bring your king closer to help defend the pawn, right? Because if I go rook h1, you can bring your king over. So what I don't get is why black went here. That is not going towards the h-pawn. So after rook h1, that pawn is just left defenseless, and I'm going to collect it on the next turn. So he played rook e8. I happily take on h6. I'm relieved because I know here that I'm probably going to win the game because I'm up a pawn and I can press in the endgame. Rook h6. He plays rook f8, king e2, c takes d5, c takes d5, bishop e5 check. Only move is to go king f2 to keep contact with the bishop, bishop c4. And I was thinking about playing rook takes d6 here, but this is a bad move because after king c7, the problem is that you can't defend your d-pawn, and after you move your rook somewhere, Black's just going to take here, and your bishop is lost. If you go rook h3, the black can collect the pawn they're down, and this is just very drawn. So that's why I didn't take on d6. Instead, I go with e4 to defend my d-pawn. After he defends on his pawn, I play a4. He goes bishop d3, trying to take the pawn a second time. I go king e3. And I don't know the exact move. I didn't keep track of this, but he offered me a draw like once or twice this game. And I, of course, say no. And that ended up being a good decision because I ended up winning the game. He goes bishop c2. I go check. He goes king b6. I go a5. He goes king a6. And his king is almost mated, except he has the move b5. And for those of you wondering, en passant is enforced. You can tell me in the comments if you think en passant is forced, but it's just a meme that we all say. I go rook c7 to attack the bishop and threaten the rook c6 check. He goes bishop b1, rook c6 check, king b7, a6 checked. Just throwing that in for good measure. King b8. Rook takes d6. We each had about maybe 7-8 minutes here. Rook f4, bishop f3, king c7. I collect the g-pawn. Oh, he decides to sack his bishop. Didn't really think that was quite necessary, but anyway, I advance with my king, bring my king to c5, and I don't find the immediate knockout here. Engine says it's mate in 7. If you ask me why I didn't push my d-pawn to give check, I'd say I don't know. I wanted to save my bishop, even though online or looking at this again, I would totally play d6 check but for some reason I didn't play it. Doesn't matter though, I'm still winning in all aspects. So I can basically play anything. So bishop e6, g4, go ahead and take, even though this isn't the fastest way to win. Rook h5, king c5, rook e5, rook g7 check, king d8. And after king d6, whatever black does, I'm just going to mate him next turn, unless he sacks and delays it by a move. So he did do that. He played rook takes d5 check, bishop takes d5. Lucas tries to escape the checkmate, but I made him anyway with rook g8, and my bishop covers the escape square on f7. So we end up winning the game to start round 1 of the tournament. Take a look at the accuracy, 85.6 to 77.9. I definitely let black have the upper edge in the game, which I shouldn't have, especially against a low-rated player. But just wanted to make the game more interesting by not simply trading, because sometimes that's risky. If the game's destined to be a draw and you trade, and the point is to trade, then you probably should. But anyway, I'm still happy with this game. 85.6 is a good accuracy. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys for watching. If you like content like this, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. And yeah, stay tuned for the next recaps, which will be posted shortly. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.